Have you ever wondered why, even though there's still love, still closeness, every touch now feels empty? There once was a time when just a glance, a gentle brush of the hand, could make your heart tremble. But now, it all feels numb. If you've ever found yourself alone at night, holding your body only to feel like you're touching a stranger, then this video is for you. I know, there are things women don't dare to say, especially after turning 60 or 70. But that silence has made millions of women slowly forget themselves. In today's video, I'll share with you 5 mistakes many older women make when it comes to touching themselves, small seeming mistakes that silently strip away the feeling of being a woman, rob the ability to connect with the one you love, and even leave you wondering, have I passed my prime? If you find a piece of yourself in what I say, please don't look away. Stay with me as we gently open the door that's been gathering dust for years, so your heart can feel again gently and with dignity. If this opening speaks to your soul, feel free to share your thoughts below. I'll read every word. And maybe, just maybe, what you say will help another woman feel a little less alone. Ready? Let's begin. Margaret is 73. Petite. Eyes still gleaming with life, though her voice wavered as she spoke. She said, "I still love my husband. He still touches me with all his heart. But I can't feel anything anymore. It's like everything inside me is dead." I've never forgotten those words. And Margaret is not alone. Many older women quietly turn to vibrators to hold on to sensation, a habit that seems private, but ends up pushing them further from their own bodies. When you use intense vibration too often, your body starts to learn how to ignore real sensation, just like a child whose name is called too many times and stops turning their head. I used to think, it's just a device, how could it rob a woman of her emotions? But then I realized, when your body only responds to one kind of stimulus, every other touch, gentle hugs, loving gazes becomes meaningless. It's not that you can't love anymore. It's that your nervous system has grown used to such intensity that tenderness becomes invisible. What many don't realize is that after 60, the body becomes more sensitive. Skin thins. Hormones change. Nerves get fragile. Intense vibration doesn't just numb sensation, it exhausts the spirit. After each climax, instead of feeling relaxed or close, you're left with emptiness, like walking through a downpour without getting wet. So how do we reconnect? You don't have to give up the tools, but you do need to relearn how to love yourself gently. Start with a candle, your favorite song, a soft touch on your wrist, a silk cloth brushing your cheek. These tiny things awaken the emotional memory you thought was lost. Sometimes, we don't need stronger sensations. We just need to stop. Breathe slowly. Listen to our bodies again, like it's the very first time. Does that feel true for you? If not, tell me below. I believe in your story because in sharing, we find ourselves. Eleanor is 69. Silver hair, always neatly tied. A retired literature teacher, she spoke with gentle clarity. In a quiet conversation, she gazed into the distance and said, "My husband is the kindest man I've ever met. But I can't feel anything with him unless I imagine someone else, the first man I ever loved, more than 40 years ago." I was silent, not out of surprise, but because the story was too familiar. Many older women carry an old memory deep inside, a gaze that once made their hearts race, a passion they thought they'd never find again, and they cling to it their whole lives, using it as the only key to unlock feeling during moments of intimacy. But here's the problem. When you always use the same memory to feel, you're training your brain. It learns that only that memory, only that scenario, can make you feel. Everything else, a real hug, a real look, a real person, fades. It's no longer enough. And soon you start questioning, do I not love my husband? Am I too old? Are my feelings gone? No, your feelings aren't gone. You just locked them in a room you forgot to open. And every time you return to that room, the memory plays like an old film overshadowing your present. It's time to gently clear space inside ourselves. Not to erase memories because memories aren't bad, but to create new scripts. Give your brain a chance to feel in new ways. Instead of the old image, try listening to instrumental music. Read a romantic poem, or just feel the breath of the person lying beside you. Let emotions be reborn through new experiences. To love someone who's long gone isn't wrong, but to bring feelings back to life, you must step out of the past. If you've ever experienced what Eleanor has, would you share below? Maybe your words will help someone feel less alone. One time, a woman named Anna, 67 years old, met me in a counseling session. She smiled politely, as usual. But when I gently asked about self-touch, that smile vanished. I no longer feel comfortable, she whispered. Just the slightest touch burns. I think maybe I've lost desire. I looked at her, and my heart grew heavy. Not because of the changes in her body, but because of the misunderstanding so many women silently carry. After menopause, the body changes, yes. Estrogen drops. Sensitive areas become thinner, drier, more fragile. But the burning pain doesn't mean you've lost desire. It means your body needs a different kind of love, a gentler one, with more support. Many women, after decades of caring for others, don't allow themselves one simple lubricant. Some feel ashamed. Some think it's silly. Some say, I'm too old. What's the point? But if you still feel, still long for connection, then you still deserve comfort. No pain. No shame. Lubricant is not something to be embarrassed about. It's a bridge. A way for you and your body to make peace again. I once advised a 71-year-old woman to use just a little water-based gel every night, not for sex, but to soothe her skin. A month later, she returned and whispered, "For the first time in years, I touched myself without pain. I never knew how precious that feeling was, until I lost it." If you've ever hesitated, try one small step. Put a tiny drop of soothing gel on your fingers. Touch your skin as if you were healing cracked lips. No rush. No goal. Just let your body know. This time, it won't hurt. This time, I'll be gentle. Have you ever denied yourself out of fear of that pain? If so, please don't stay silent. Leave a simple comment. I want to touch myself without pain. Maybe a woman reading that will find her courage because of you. I once listened to a woman, 66 years old, who shared in a very soft voice. I usually do it very quickly, in the dark. Not because I'm in a hurry, but because I don't know any other way. My whole life, I was taught that a respectable woman never touches herself. I stayed silent for a long time after that. Because in that silence, I heard the voices of thousands of other women, those who grew up in a time when pleasure was only meant for men, and women were taught to be modest, quiet, and just get it over with. And so, even now, after many decades, they still carry that habit, quick, quiet, emotionless as if trying to escape their own needs. Are you living like that too? Touching yourself not out of love, but just to get it over with? Do you ever finish and feel not relieved but empty? I call it a soulless habit when you repeat an act that was meant to bring connection and tenderness, but you do it like an emotionless chore. And this habit teaches your body to respond with coldness. Once your brain gets used to speed, it loses patience for slowness. Once your soul becomes too familiar with hiding, it forgets how to open up. But your body, it's still there, waiting to be loved the right way. If you've ever rushed through it just to be done, then today, please try something new. Turn off the ceiling light. Switch on a soft lamp. Play gentle music. Diffuse a familiar scent. Place a small mirror nearby, not to judge, but to look at yourself with kindness. Place your hand over your heart and ask, what do I need from myself today? It might be comfort. It might be the freedom to cry. It might be simply to know that you're still alive. Then let your hand follow that answer, not rushing, not aiming to finish, not trying to reach anything. Let every touch be a message. I'm still here. I haven't forgotten you. I'm learning to love myself again. If you've ever lived with the habit of touching yourself without feeling, I hope you'll leave a small comment below. I choose to love myself with gentleness, because maybe someone, somewhere, is waiting to see you dare so they can dare too. Dorothy, 71 years old, carried herself with grace. She had taught Bible study for nearly 30 years. She didn't come to me for illness, but for something even she admitted was hard to say. In a moment of silence, she lowered her head and whispered, voice trembling, I still have feelings, but every time I touch my body, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I feel disgusted with myself. I wasn't shocked. I was heartbroken. Because Dorothy is not the first, and surely won't be the last. How many older women are living with that same feeling, a mixture of quiet longing and deep shame? They grew up in a time when just thinking about self-touch was already shameful, already improper. Every bodily emotion was buried under blankets, silence, and rigid teachings about being ladylike. They carried that sense of wrongness through their whole lives. But here's the truth. Emotions don't vanish with age or morality. They just get pushed aside, buried, and slowly form invisible wounds. Every time they want to feel close to themselves, a small voice inside whispers, "You're not allowed." And over time, this doesn't just hurt. The soul, it deadens the body's ability to feel joy. Science proves that guilt produces cortisol, the stress hormone, which suppresses dopamine, the pleasure hormone. That means the more ashamed you feel, the harder it is to feel happy. And when this repeats again and again, you start to believe, I no longer deserve to be loved. But I want to say this to you, to Dorothy, and to every woman who ever felt wrong for loving herself. You are not wrong. Your feelings are real. Your desire is human. Touching your own body is not shameful. It is the gentlest act you can offer a soul that has endured too much silence. If you haven't dared to begin, try this. Stand in front of a mirror, just a few minutes each day. Look at yourself not to criticize, but to connect. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, I am still a woman. I still deserve love. You might not feel anything yet, but keep going. That's when the burden of shame carried for decades starts to lift. Have you ever carried that feeling? If so, you are not alone. You can leave a sentence below, something simple like, I don't need to apologize for my feelings. And if you do, you may help another woman still silent, still hurting, find the courage to love herself again. One time, I asked a woman, when was the last time you truly felt like a woman? She sat quietly for a long while, then replied, I still touch myself. I try to keep the habit, but it feels like I'm walking through a dark hallway. There's nothing there. No joy. No sadness. Just a reminder that I still exist. I call that pleasure without a soul when the body still reacts, still moves, still climaxes, but no emotions come with it. No love. No connection. Nothing lingers. It's like eating a cold meal. You're full, yes, but nothing tastes right. And the frightening thing is, the longer you live in that state, the more you believe it's normal. You think, well, at this age, what else can I expect? As long as I can still respond, that's enough. But no, you were not born just to respond. You were born to feel, to love, to tremble, to be moved, to awaken from within. Separating emotion from pleasure doesn't make you stronger. It only teaches your heart to live in silence. And over time, you no longer hear what you need. You can go an entire day without being touched. And when you touch yourself, it feels like a mechanical motion. No warmth, no longing. So how do we bring emotion back? It doesn't begin with the hand. It begins with the breath. Sit down, place your hand over your chest and ask, what do I want to feel today? It might be comfort, to be remembered, to feel beautiful again, or simply to let go of everything you've been carrying. Let your body follow that answer, not toward a goal, but just to say, I'm still alive. I'm still here. Start by writing one line in your journal. What do I want to feel today? It doesn't have to be profound. Sometimes it's just to breathe deeply without sadness, or to let a tear fall without shame. If you've ever felt trapped in soulless pleasure, you can leave one line here. I want to feel fully alive again. Not because others need to hear it, but because you need to remember that fire inside you never went out. It's been waiting just for you to come back and whisper, I miss the feeling of being a woman. You're still here with Merite up to this very moment. Do you know what that means? It means that you, whether you're 60, 70, or even 80 years old, still carry a quiet yet profound question within you. Can I still love myself completely? And I want to tell you this with all the sincerity I have. Yes, you absolutely can. We've just walked through a journey that wasn't easy, not because it was complicated, but because it was deeply honest. The 6 mistakes that many older women make when touching their own bodies. They're not technical faults, but hidden cracks in the soul. Using intense stimulation and losing touch with tenderness. Living forever in a memory and forgetting the present. Enduring pain simply due to the absence of gentleness. Rushing through acts like you're running from yourself. Carrying guilt taught since childhood. And finally experiencing pleasure with no emotional connection. But the miracle is this. Your body has never abandoned you. Even if you forgot it, heard it, or treated it like a machine, it's still quietly waiting for you to come back. And deeper than the body is your soul, the woman within you still longing to live, to feel, to love, and to be herself. I'm not asking you to change everything overnight. All I ask, after this video, is that you sit with yourself for just a little while. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart and ask, am I truly living as a woman, or merely existing out of habit, silence, and fear? If you feel a tiny spark of awakening inside you, no matter how small, hold on to it. Don't let it slip away like so many times before. Because the greatest transformation never starts with something grand. It starts with something very simple. Giving yourself permission to feel again. You can leave a comment below, not long, just one sentence. I deserve to be loved. That sentence isn't just for you. It's for the thousands of women quietly watching this video. Women who once believed their time had passed, that it was too late, that no one cared anymore. But as you can see, we are still here. We still have hearts. And as long as the heart can still be moved, every healing journey can begin again at any age. If this message touched you, please click like, subscribe, and share this video with a woman you care about. Because maybe you will be the bridge that helps her find her way back to herself. I am your companion on this journey, and I will always be here, telling you the stories no one else dares to tell. About growing older, not as fading, but as truly living. I'll see you in the next video. where we'll go even deeper into the whispers of the body and soul that no one has dared to listen to. Are you ready?